Hello everyone and welcome to my video blog. This is Lauren. Again, I'll be talking about what goes on in the political world. So a few days ago, ABC World News reported that the U.S. Olympic team's opening uniforms will be made entirely in China. Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid had an interesting response to this news. He said that the team's uniforms should be burned. And yes, he actually said that. Allow me to quote. "I think the Olympic Committee should be ashamed of themselves. I think they should be embarrassed. I think they should take all the uniforms, put them in a big pile, and burn them, and start all over again. If they have to wear nothing but a singlet that says USA on it, painted by hand, then that is what they should wear." Don't get me wrong. I would like to see more items being produced in the U.S. as opposed to overseas. And I do think the U.S. Olympic Committee should have seen the criticism coming. But with America's disapproval of Congress at a whopping rate of 86%, I think the man who presides over the Senate should be a bit more concerned with the job Congress is doing. Or maybe he just hasn't seen the polls. Anyhow, Harry Reid is not concerned with the government's approval rate. Nor is he concerned with cutting spending, decreasing the debt, or addressing the tax debate. Instead, he and other politicians who have criticized the Olympic Committee are concerned with where the Team USA's uniforms are made. This week, a group of senators is expected to introduce legislation that would require the committee to outfit Team USA with clothing made entirely in the United States for all future Olympic Games. I have to ask, what goes on? Is this really a priority to make legislation on this right now? Apparently, politicians have overlooked the fact that times have changed, and we rarely make clothing in the United States anymore. If he checked his own clothing labels, I'm sure Harry Reid would discover that much of what he wears is made overseas. Not to mention, he and other Americans will be watching our athletes on televisions, computers, and smartphones, produced also in China and elsewhere. Production is outsourced when the cost of labor is cheaper overseas. That does not mean that the apparel industry doesn't employ Americans. We design and brand clothing here. We just don't work long hours and get low wages in factories anymore. The U.S. Olympic Committee is privately funded, and it made a reasonable choice to act within budget by outfitting our athletes with uniforms that are made in China. Chastising the committee as if to say that their purchase of Chinese goods is causing the U.S. economy to suffer is nothing short of ridiculous. Not to mention, I doubt that producing those few hundred uniforms in the United States would have a measurable influence in terms of job creation. Harry Reid's attack on the U.S. Olympic Committee was both heated and inappropriate. I mean, what was he thinking when he criticized our beloved athletes like that? Maybe Harry needs to stop being so concerned about the triviality of where our athletes' clothing was produced. He should be more worried about our nation's policymakers staying within budget, or better yet, settling the tax debate. Thanks everyone for watching, and check back later in the week for another video blog.